Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Welcome. Good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to this presentation of a completely new topic, Gen AI. It's new for you? Probably yes or no. But Gen AI now is the main topic of the year because with Gen AI we can do things like recipe for cooking pizza, project nuclear power plant. Something like this. Let's try to understand if it can be useful in Java coding, for instance, or another language coding. Okay, let me just present myself. I'm Antonio Pigna. I'm coming from Italy, from south of Italy. I born as a programmer, so this is a speech from a programmer for other programmers. So you are welcome if you are writing code. Okay, this is the speech. The main speech. I usually now managing projects in Java, but anyway, I was a programmer, so it's fine for you. When I born as a programmer, I had a dream. Every one of you probably as a programmer has a dream. No, let me introduce my dream with a small short history of what is programming for us, okay? What is programming? And probably is divided in two main topics. The first one is you have a functional requirement, okay? A requirement which is written in natural language, okay? So you have to move your brain, put things from natural language, from your requirement into something that is formalized and ready to program, okay? You programming, you write your code, and then you can use this code for compiling, okay, in let me say, electrical language. Okay, so we are starting from a natural language, and we land for a electrical language. From one side, we have a matter of understanding, using brain to understand what is meaning, what is saying our functional business. Okay. Another one, what is best way to perform to write good code? What I say, in the last 50 years, probably, we are applied to improve just one side of this problem, just the side of programming, because we developed more powerful programming language, abstraction, frameworks, object-oriented programmings, automatic code generation. Spring Raw is one of them. You just write a database, AI develop for you all the layers, stacks of software development. Past years, low code, no code platform, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, we are agree with this. But if you think we are just writing things to write left code or use code more powerful, but nothing but the left side of this slide, okay? Nothing on the left side until past years, this year probably, where my dream could probably become a reality. What is my dream? My dream is to have tools that you can use to translate automatically text, natural language in machine code directly, without no intermediate. Okay, let's try to understand if ChatGPT could make material my dream. Okay, let's try. But you can try with two questions that I give to you. The first one is, can generative AI, and in this case ChatGPT, can generate automatically code from natural language? And the second one is a question for you. Can programmers survive to this revolution? Okay, you will be the future, no, of the programming. Raise the hands who thinks that programming will be killed by ChatGPT. One, okay. No, that's fine. A very short people, so I think you are very optimistic. Okay, I'm lucky with this optimism. Okay, let's start with first test. Okay, how can you develop code normally, usually? You start from a requirement, which is actually a text. You have to read the text, understand, comprehension, etc. Fight with your business analyst because he doesn't understand nothing about your client problems, etc., etc. And then you have to apply your brain to extract information from your natural language document to write, entities, which is the fundamental of how put together an atom of knowledge of your document. Actions, which is an API interface with you can interact with your computer system, and persistence to understand what or every information that are traveling up and down can be persisted in on a database. Okay. Usually, strangely, I have here a short document. Let me see. Okay, this is a requirement. Okay. How can I have this one? I ask ChatGPT, write for me a requirement. This is a bank, a wire transfer between the two banks. It's just a requirement that say you how can you perform a wire transfer for a bank account A to a bank account B. Okay, let's try to ask. First one I copy. I wanna just use a prompt. So I want to prepare my prompt in this way. Okay. Can you extract for me in a gentle way? Just see, be kind when you ask to ChatGPT. Okay, copy. Okay, this is ChatGPT. I just say hello to ChatGPT because it's a little bit tricky. I'm asking. Okay, he is right for me something. Okay. Sorry, probably I'm wrong. I used this. I switched from two different exercises, so I have to copy my questions. I put in the. Okay. On top of. Okay. Start again. Okay. As you can see, all your brain you should have used to read the documentation, understand what documentation, fight with your business analyst, etc., has done in just a few seconds, and this interface just generate for you bins. Okay, wire transfer, all the POJ, all the bin, the attributes. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, this is first step. Second one could be, can you spring rest control. Okay. Is thinking. It's fantastic. What you saved as a time is not the time of writing your controller in Java, okay? Because probably if you have a good she's a good programmer, I know. In my opinion, is not the main time you save. The main time you save is to understand the functional documentation and translate it into a Java classes, okay? I just want to say is put mapping is just a way to implement a REST controller. Probably is something is lacking because it's just import one annotation. Probably he used almost two. Okay, it's a little bit tricky, so you have to tweak a bit of code to complete something that can lacking. Okay, what is still missing? Something about services. No, controller is the interface. You can ask, can you generate for me services? Okay, just time I just look at him and he generate for me services. Okay. Very, very fast. Not only, but I'm following a chain starting from the entities and then a controller to generate the interface. And then I ask him to connect together interface with a entities. I did it in a few seconds. Okay, it's fantastic for me. If just give him have a look at this. Okay, this is my way of proceeding. Okay, my initial workflow I perform now is the first iteration, the second one, the third one, and every interaction I do with ChatGPT, since he has in memory all the information I previously generated, he is able to extract the next step, POM dependencies for POM, H2 database, if in case, etc., etc. This is one way to proceed. We have another one. Another one is try to changing approach totally and have just one instruction and you put all together into your ChatGPT interface. Okay, if I try this one, you're just giving me a few seconds. Okay, the functional requirement remain the same. I just cut and paste the extraction you have seen in the slide. Okay. Bang. Okay, what is the advantage using this approach respect to the other one? The first is an iterative approach and I have, the possibility to change strategy over time. Bin is not good. Okay, generate me another time a newer bin. Oh, a controller is not correct, etc. Okay, in this case, no, you have the generation of everything at once. If you have a possibility to interact with ChatGPT directly with API, you can save all these objects, put into your favorite IDE for developing code. Just run. I run it here. If you want to have a try, I just saying put for insert some parameter, probably is void. I don't remember. Okay, but this is the answer. But believe me, I just copy and paste and tweak it for 15 minutes, no more, the code I have by the generation ChatGPT to obtain a skeleton of an application. Sorry, the skeleton you see here. But you have the application is a Spring Boot very small standard application with 1, 2, 4, 5, 10 files automatically generate at once with just one prompt. You imagine that you have, she is my functional analyst, okay. She performed for me, let me say, 1,000 small document of business requirement. And with 1,000 interaction, I can have all my code infrastructure generated at once. Fantastic. Okay, let's just go forward a bit. What are our findings? First, it's important, you save understanding time. We didn't have to understand the trash things that she writes, okay? The second one, the skeleton is already done. You don't have to push your brain to understand what is the skeleton of the code, what are the API interface, what are the information, the bins that you have to put into your API interface. So it's fantastic. And what is lacking? Okay, I just covered an half an eye when I copy and paste code, because there is something that sometimes can be wrong. For example, import never works at the first time. So you have to manage manually code to arrange the import. And sometimes when you have the annotation, it is wrong with the importation of the annotation. Probably if you have a, Spring annotation for controllers or JAX RS, the name of an annotation is the same, but the import is different. So you have to tweak things a little bit. But what is important? What's the role I had performing this task? I'm talking from programmer to programmer. So what is important that I had to understand what is the architecture I had to generate. Okay, it's fundamental. You have to understand the architecture. You have to understand all the components you generate to understand if all put all together it works at first time, or you have to let me say, improve and tweak manually some kind of code. But it works. Okay. Let's go with something more simple, apparently simple. Okay. I have here a snippet of code. Let me check. Should be this one. Okay. You're programmers, okay? You're always, what is doing? 10 seconds, what is doing? Well, you don't know, okay. What can you do? Ask ChatGPT. Okay. What the hell this code is doing? What the hell is fundamental, because in this case you are a little bit hungry when you are dealing with this code. Me too. I anonymized the method so you can understand by reading the name of the method what the hell he is doing. He's just saying to me, okay, this is always Lava, okay, yeah. Okay, this is a merge sort algorithm. He explained me how merge sort is working, blah, 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 blah. Wow, it's useful. This is reverse engineering. Usually, when she doesn't work so well, someone told me, okay, this is your base code. Tell me what it's doing, okay? Usually, you have to debug, to execute, etc. No, you just copy and paste code into ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT what is the hell is doing the code, okay? And it worked, okay, it's great. This is a merge sort, okay, but it's a little bit difficult, not only, it's a little bit complex if you have to debug this. So try to understand what is the complexity of this code. Okay, code. Okay, I asked to cyclomatic complexity of the code, which is the nesting of if else for a cycle nested into each other. Okay, he's going all the inference on the code, etc., etc., etc. Probably he should display five. Okay. Cyclomatic complexity is a way to understand when you go to debug this code, how branch you have to navigate to execute all the line of code. For me, 5 is too much. So I'm asking ChatGPT, can you lower that? Okay. Wait just 10 seconds. Okay. He is rewriting code using another approach, not an if nested into a for loop, but a case probably. Let me check before speak. Okay, a while. Okay, it's a while with an if. It's a way to simplify the code. In this case, probably he get below cyclomatic complexity, he don't say, but it's 4 I calculated before. Okay, so a way to simplify, when she gives you a huge amount of code, you can simplify it just asking ChatGPT to rearrange the way this cycle are nested one into another one. Okay, so since she is not very comfortable with the merge sort, we can ask ChatGPT to document this class, no? Javadoc. Okay. Okay, it's very long documentation for ChatGPT. This is a Javadoc. There are the parameters taken from the method signature. So can you read? Can you understand? Okay. She's comfortable with this code. So the generation of documentation is automatic. So getting back, I have a source code. I have possibility to understand what they do, to simplify, to rearrange and document just at a glance, just writing 3-5 line of prompts on ChatGPT. Okay, but it's not enough. Can we do next? Okay, the testing. Okay, so the next step is try to generate automatically unit test. Okay, why is important to generate automatically unit test? Not only because the unit test is time consuming because you have to write code, no, but because in this case he generates some assertion. Okay, probably you are able. But if you see, you just find here not too much cases. It's just unsorted array, sorted array, and empty array. It's enough for you, not for me. I want to be sure that the routine is tested well. So I am asked GPT to generate other corner cases. Empty array with a single element, large array with the negative numbers, etc. Hey, I can continue. We don't have too much time, but I can continue. What is the advantage in a situation like this? You can continue, you don't have to use your brain to project unit test, okay? Another case interesting could be the debugging. Okay, I'm particularly sad today. I want to introduce here a small casually. I put a -1. I don't know where. Okay, -1. Hi, this code. Yeah. Okay. Let's cross digits. Okay, if I have a look at this. You don't have to debug code and at runtime. This is not the case, let me say, a compilation error. That doesn't matter about compilation error because ChatGPT is not so performing in this case. But he find where is the error. The length -1 is not correct. He say to me what is the way to correct the code without any wasting time in F5 to debug F7 to debug code with your reader. Okay, this is important, no? Last one, I had friends. I am sure this is a kind of dangerous. Do you recognize this language? Probably some of you, yes, because it's very old, like me. It's a COBOL. I found, I uncovered from dust and asking ChatGPT, hi, what the hell? Okay. The heel works ever with ChatGPT. Okay, something is okay. It gives me an explanation also for all the very fashioned programming language, but it's not enough for me. Since I am a Java programmer and she is too, okay, I asked ChatGPT to, can you translate? Probably it's not perfect because the way a COBOL routine works is not exactly translating automatically in a Java class. But you know, it works. Okay. You have just to arrange something, but trust me, if you want to do in old style, is very, very complex. Okay. Okay, let's jump, you know, in conclusion. What we learned in just in 50 minutes, more or less. First one, when I start to test ChatGPT, how it is used, how it works, I use it in a black box. Okay. You remember Garry Kasparov, which is chess player with the Deep Blue IBM. Okay, for you is a black box. Let's try to understand how they react to me, and then I try to understand. I understand how ChatGPT works. It's a strong generative behavior. Generative means that everything you want in the solution of your problem must be here in the association of terms that will use it into the solution. This is a sample of ChatGPT domains. This is a sample prompt that I used in the past. Okay, you are a Java programmer. You should be, what is the context, what is the language, who is the person which ChatGPT is, what are the components, the type of component, the framework, the operation, everything you want in the solution, you have to simulate the associative minds of ChatGPT. Okay. You also see two different approaches that I use. The one is multiple tasking, just you want a simple prompt. This is very interesting for me when you want all the items at once. You have, let me say, an automatic system to take all the classes into your IDE. Okay, so you are something to automate prompt. The multiple instruction is better. Pay attention to the memory, because memory of ChatGPT is not infinite, so you cannot pass infinite dimension of tasks. And in this case, at opposite, if you want to change completely strategy, as far as you put instruction into ChatGPT, it's better that you use one instruction for time. Okay. Close and open question. Pay attention that there are hidden associations on the training. If I just write, give me a data source for a DB table, it automatically generates for me a data source for Python and for MySQL. Why? Because it's the strength of the association during the learning of ChatGPT gives this as a result. So pay attention. Explicit everything you need. Above all, test everything you write into the ChatGPT. This is one example of template that I use. Instruction at the beginning. Explicit everything, what is the actor which is performing ChatGPT. You are a journalist, you are my business analyst, you are, okay. Give an example of result you want, specify in a sequence numeric sequence of steps you want to perform. Okay. At the end, what is our future? Okay, the future is that, sorry, I jumped a slide. Okay, what is the future? This is the situation before and this after ChatGPT. The first one is that you have more time for coffee. I'm Italian, is good news for me. The second one is that your brain is squeezed a little bit less. It is also good for me because I'm Italian. And the last one is that is a completely new task that doesn't exist before. The name of this task is prompt engineer. Okay, but prompt engineer, pay attention, is done by two words, prompt and engineer. Prompt means that you have to deal with the ChatGPT. Engineer means that you have to be very expert in the matter you are asking for ChatGPT. So, programmer will survive. Programmer will survive and will be stronger than ever. Thank you for all. And if you have any question, if you don't have time for question, I go in the open space and just at close to the tent. So I will be here for every kind of question you can make me. I'm at disposition.
I wanted to tell you we have 8 minutes now. We have 7.5 minutes. Okay, AI is quite able to handle basic development tasks, however massively failed by more advanced tasks, and real-life programming often requires handling advanced tasks. What are your experiences, please?
Okay, we are planning to use ChatGPT for a huge amount dimension of functional analysis. So we task with, let me say, 100 pages of functional analysis, generating, 100 classes Java. It works. Probably what is the changing of approach? It refined the way, standardize the way you prompt ChatGPT to react to a huge amount of code. So the answer is yes. We are here waiting for ChatGPT 5 because probably we have more memory to manage and more code that we can generate at one time.
So it's just about memory and processing
power? It's just a problem of time.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you tried Autogen from Microsoft, where you can define several agents communicating with each other? On paper, you can set up a whole IT team with testing, coding, and team lead. Does it work now, or what is your opinion when will it work almost perfect?
I think we have a lot of tools that we have to test too, but we are just in the first phase, not the maturity of Gen AI. So now we have a proliferation of millions of tools. We have to wait 1-2 years to stabilize the knowledge that we have about Gen AI, and then we understand what are the best tools and what are suitable for some task or some other one.
But do you think
so we have to wait?
Do you think we can have a whole department?
Yeah, all the department, Accenture, or big company are here to invest money to understand what is the future of Gen AI.
Okay, what is the best AI coded assistant?
What is best AI coded Copilot? Okay, Copilot. Copilot is one of them, but me is a good code assistant, but I'm not Gen AI. But the answer is the previous. Wait. Test, wait as much tools as possible and find what is the one that is suitable for your way of working. That is not a solution for everyone.
Okay, how do you facilitate practical experience gathering for junior developments if you offload the less complex tasks that the junior could usually work with?
Okay, this is a tricky mess. Okay. Probably the problem is, if you see my presentation well, I have a huge skill of programmer. Okay, so what I suggest to you, if you want to squeeze every knowledge by ChatGPT, you should be a master in computer programming. So study. As much you are a computer programming expert, the best solution you find using ChatGPT. If your level is X, ChatGPT multiply for 3-4 times. So best you are studying, the best you are performing with ChatGPT, use it as one of a tool of your desk. Okay.
Okay. Have you tried AutoGen? Okay. Oh, yeah. How do you protect intellectual property when sharing the code or business requirement with Gen AI? Are there any best practices? There is some lawyer in this room.
You know, this
Keeps asking this question throughout the day.
Okay, probably this you can make a screenshot.
Yeah, I know.
And I answer. But this one is worth to answer now. Probably because we don't know what is using ChatGPT to train. Okay, so the best solution is to use tools that helps you to understand if the code is, let me say, generated of copy and pasted from the training. Okay, there are tools such as Black Duck that can help you to perform this task. So it's okay.
Okay, yeah, I think that's the last question. Yes, is there a coding assistant model that I can self-host on an end-user GPU that is free of licensing issues?
No.
That is
No, no. You know, it's early. Probably most in.
What if my company prohibits the pasting of clients' code into the ChatGPT?
Okay. I'm an Italian.
Bring your private notebook to work.
It's a question, but if you want to be precise, you should, let me say, use regulatory use of ChatGPT into company. We are just in the early adoption of these tools. Wait.
What do you recommend programmers do to stay on track and remain valuable, especially in the AI era?
Yeah, they have to study. They have to stay on track on the traditional way of programming. You know, Picasso was a painter, probably not usual painter, but he was a very performing drawer. So he performed well as a traditional drawer, and then he became a cubist. So understand well what is the traditional code, and then try to use ChatGPT.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's our time. Now we're...
Thank you.
Antonio Pigna.